final. Matt, over to you.
Yeah, so that's Zach. It's a great game. It's a fun game. So yeah, we've just getting my bracket up so I can see who's playing first. If we can get Salad and Amoeba both on the stage, we can get this speedrunning showdown.
Let's do it.
Showdown.
So welcome our first runners, guys. Hey, there they come.
You know, for speedrunners, they're awfully slow.
Right, we're going to get screen up.
So they're just going to get their controllers set up, and then they will be on the way. Like my friend here said, they're going to be going through the first 3 levels of the game. As it's a speedrunning showdown, the person who completes the levels the fastest will be going through to the next round. And at the very end, grand prize.
Today we have some great prizes for the runners. First place is going to get a £100 voucher for Green Man Gaming. It's £100 worth of games, as well as a brand new Intel processor. Second place, £40 worth of video games from Green Man Gaming.
So yeah, some pretty good prizes.
Something fun for them to play for.
You guys both
Our runners are ready to go.
Well, I guess I can give a 3, 2, 1 countdown, and then they can go. 3, 2, 1, go! So they're both going to be going through 1-1, which is
And they're off.
Yeah, and it's going to be the same for both of them. Depending on what door they take, they will be going down completely different routes to one another. Do you want to explain that mechanic a bit?
So every level has actually 3 different routes that the players can take. There is no difficulty level in the game. Instead, we've got the 3 different pathways, which we'll see a little bit more of later as well. Ranging from bottom to top, we've got the easiest route, medium route, and then a very hard route to reach the top end. That's the first level done, and we've got the times. That was a lot faster than I can do it, that's for sure.
What's the fastest that you've ever gone?
Oh, that level probably takes me about a minute on its own.
A minute on its own, and they did it in like, what, 22, 23 seconds?
That's why they're the speedrunners. As you can see, they're blistering through here.
And each level will get progressively more difficult. Depending on which path you take, the difficulty will be more or less difficult.
So I believe there's up to 6 different worlds at the moment. So obviously as you progress through the different worlds, the environment changes, your enemy changes, and the difficulty will increase. All right, that's the second one done. We're on to the 3rd level of this heat. Nice little climb up to the top there, smashing it through. Now players today are playing on mixed controllers. I believe one of them is on a PlayStation controller and one of them is on an Xbox controller, is that right?
Yeah, that's correct. Personally, I wouldn't say that's much of a big deal. I don't think controller gives any... Wow, it's done already.
That's it.
So Amoeba is the victor of that first round. Can we get a round of applause for Amoeba?
Give it up for Amoeba!
Completing that round so damn fast.
Through to the semi-finals.
Salad, how you doing? You doing okay? All right. You're a bit slow, bud.
Strong finish, strong finish.
You can do it.
Come on, guys, give him a clap.
We believe in you.
Slow clap to the finish, let's go. While he's finishing up there, we do have ability to play with PlayStation and Xbox controllers, as I said. This game is also coming to the Nintendo Switch. Now, the only real difference with the controllers is the colors. You can set it in the game to match the colors to the controller you're using. Now, the way that works is with the different colored enemies in the game, they correspond to the colors on your controller that you have to press. So for a PlayStation controller, it's, what are the colors?
Of a PlayStation controller? I play Xbox, man.
Oh, sorry. So the PlayStation controller, I think, what's it? It's square is what, pink, green, and red?
That sounds right.
And then an Xbox controller, this one you do know.
It's blue, yellow, green, and something else.
Go. And then you can also set up custom colors if those don't suit for you.
Right, so as we just saw, Salad and Amoeba had their showdown. Amoeba was the victor. Next up, we're going to have Dan and Venom.
Let's bring them up.
Dan and Venom.
Don't make me come back there, guys. What's going on? Hey, there we go. It's always the threat of a giant ginger coming to get you that gets them on stage. All right, so we're jumping into our second heat.
So they're going to be doing basically the same thing, going through the first levels as quick as they can. The differences that we're going to be looking out for, though, is the routes that they take. Because as we mentioned before, you can take multiple routes here.
So yeah, there are a couple of ways that you can go through the map. Now, fortunately, these guys have had a couple of weeks with the game already, so they have been practicing exploring the different routes. So yeah, it will be interesting to see, especially from my side. I'll be curious to see if they take the same routes, because maybe they've all found the same route that works the fastest, or if they take different routes. We'll see.
Anyway, they're ready to go whenever, so 3, 2, 1, go.
Right, jumping straight into Heat 2, and they're off.
Yeah, in my practice, I always found that the top route was the fastest to go. But a lot of
Also the hardest to do.
Well, yeah, but you know, when you're good at a game, you're good at a game.
I guess that is the reward factor. If you're really good at the game and you choose the harder route, then you get to go through it.
Yeah, we can see that here. We've got someone going the top route now. I've heard from some of the runners, though, that you actually save time in later levels by going through the bottom and then the top in later levels. So that's why it's interesting to see the routes that they end up taking.
Right, getting stuck there.
Oh, he forgot to change his colors. Ooh, that's going to lose him some time.
Let's see if that affects his time at the end. Oh, and our first player is finished with that one. Moving straight on to the second level.
And like I said, he's going that bottom route, which is supposedly quicker. Colors are hard. Red, yellow, blue, pink, green, orange. I mean,
Runner getting stuck deciding on what colors he wants to use today. Right, as he's getting through that, we've got our other runner who is blistering through. Unfortunately, we've only got the one down here, so I've got to turn around and see the other one. He is smashing through the second level, getting to the end already, hitting the blue door.
Incredibly quick. I've only managed to get 1 minute and 30 on that stage.
Yeah, I can't even finish the third level. Ooh, he's jumped into the dip there and gotten caught. He does have a good lead at the moment, though, so it shouldn't affect him too much. As you can see there, he's getting stuck. Now, one of the other things that they can use is if they actually hold down the color of the opponent, that range will extend, as you just saw there. You need to tactically use all of the different mechanics available to you to get through in the fastest time possible. Absolute chaos there with the turrets.
Ooh, unfortunately, spamming the blue instead of the red.
Oh, that was nice there through the boosts. It's coming up to the end of the level now. There we saw the extended range.
It's a really interesting mechanic to use in terms of a race, the extended range, I mean. It slows you down so much in midair, you may feel like you're losing time. But
yeah, we chucked in some of those mechanics in order to really put a little bit of pressure on the player.
You have to really figure out what's going to be more strategic for you in that point. Do you lose a couple of seconds extending your range, or do you fall into a pit that you can't get out of?
And then sometimes you've got to use it in conjunction with your boost as well, because they're just that far away from you and you've got to get across. Now, by building up chains, you are staying off the floor. Every time that you hit the ground, your chain ends and then your scoring goes down a bit. So the whole idea is for them to try and stay off the ground as long as possible and chain those combos together. Our first player is finished with his 3 levels and is completed already, so he has won the heat. We are just watching our second player run through the 3rd level now. Is he on? There he's on the yellow doors, so he's at the end.
So yeah, Dan was the winner of the 2nd heat.
Oh, no, he's on the 3rd level now. Get him through this.
You know, I really appreciate that he's going through with finishing his run. Dedicated.
Absolutely.
He's making really good use of the extension mechanics. I feel like if he hadn't gotten stuck in the earlier levels with the color scheme change, it would have been a much more interesting race.
Well, he's working this level.
Yeah, he seems to be really competent with it.
Oh, they unfortunately dropped in the spike trap. But using those planted boost pads to get him across.
There
it is.
So what are the gray ones? They don't seem to have any color at all.
So the gray ones, yeah, as you say, they are not colored. You have to actually use the jump function to jump on top of them, and then they'll give you a little bit of boost forward. There we go, and we've reached the end.
Well done, he's managed to finish his third level, even.
Right, guys, it's the end of Heat 2. Give it up for our runners.
Well done to Dan. We'll be seeing him again shortly. But
so Matt, how many more heats have we got to go?
We're now moving into the semi-finals.
Oh, straight into the semi-finals.
Straight into the semi-finals. We've got 4 runners left. Turkey, Amoeba, Reese, and Dan. We've only seen 2 of them so far. There's 2 runners we've not seen yet. So this could be an incredibly interesting run. Amoeba has come back onto the stage. This is not the race that was meant to be happening.
Right, runners, check your colors this time. Make sure you're ready and set up and your controllers are good to go. We'll give them a second while they do that. So Matt, why don't you tell us a little bit about what you guys are up to on your stand over there?
On our main stage, we've got a weekend-long speedrunning marathon, which is where you basically just have speedrun after speedrun after speedrun with very little break in between. We're trying to raise money primarily for Special Effect. That's the reason that we come to these events and put on our shows, because Special Effect, they try and make the lives of disabled gamers better by providing them with gaming peripherals that they can, use to play video games better. And I just think it's such a brilliant charity and message.
Absolutely. Green Man Gaming, we've actually been working with Special Effect as well. We recently did the London 10K run with them, which was great fun. My knee didn't enjoy it so much, though.
Both of our runners are now ready.
Right, ready to jump into the semi-final.
Yeah, we've got Reese versus Amoeba in the semi-final. So, 3, 2, 1, go!
All right.
Now, in my mind, I shouldn't say it, I shouldn't have favorites. But in my mind, Amoeba is one of the front runners to win this whole tournament. So it's going to be really interesting to see him make his way through the levels.
And he has already had a bit of a warm-up, so he should be going through quite quickly.
Yeah, I feel a little bit bad for Reese.
Well, he seems to be doing all right there.
Yeah, he's
getting through. Quite so. I think he's just behind at the moment. Oh, no, he's taking a different route. So Amoeba's finished the first level already.
Yeah, but Reese is not far behind.
Not far behind at all, so this could still be close. He's going to have to do well on the second level, otherwise he will get caught very, very quickly.
I like their use of dodging certain enemies. Now, of course, in the usual experience of the game, your primary goal is to rack up as many points as you can. It's more of a point attack game than a time attack game. But in this situation, when you're trying to get to the end of each level as quick as possible, it's like that. It's really interesting to see avoiding the big enemies.
Sometimes it is more tactical to do that.
And Amoeba, I believe, is already on his third stage.
He's on the last level. But he's not too far behind.
Yeah, but Reese is catching up.
If Amoeba has a clean run, he'll win this. But if he screws up,
he was speaking in backstage earlier about how that route on the third level is the riskiest route that you can take. And he was worried about messing it up because he could lose 20 seconds, but he didn't.
Just absolutely nailed it.
Yeah, that means that Amoeba is through to the grand finals.
Congratulations. Oh, I thought he was going to play another level there, trying to show off a bit. Right, let's wait for the other runner to finish the level. Getting through it nice and quickly. Unfortunately, got caught in the first level and couldn't quite keep up the rest of the way.
Well, when you're playing with the big boys in the semi-finals, that sort of thing can happen.
Absolutely. There he's reached the yellow door and finished. Now, what we did see there is our 2 runners did take 2 different routes. So we can see straight away that the route you take does affect your time in a massive way. But that's it for the first semi-final. Well done to...
that was Amoeba who won that one. He is through to the finals with that opportunity to win the £100 and a new computer CPU.
That's right.
A brilliant prize. Next up, we're going to have Dan and TKY again, I shouldn't have faith.
And they are ahead of us. They're already at their computers, getting ready, setting up their stuff.
Yep, Turkey is already getting ready, and so is Dan. Hopefully, you guys remember to change your colors. We don't want to see any more situations where colors are causing someone to lose.
So who are we looking at for this one? Who's your favorite?
Well, yeah, again, I shouldn't really have favorites considering that I'm the speedrunner guy and they are all going to hate me after I throw them under the bus. But again, I feel like Turkey is the front runner in this one.
We already saw Turkey earlier, didn't we?
We did already see Turkey earlier. Yeah, he's had a warm up. That's not the only reason I think he's going to be the one to take this, though. He's just incredibly quick.
Well, we'll see.
You guys both ready back there?
Right. Both ready? Right, they're ready to go. Matt, set us off.
All right then. Well then, in 3, 2, 1.
Right, and they're off straight into it, into level 1.
So yeah, in the practice rounds, in the weeks leading up to this event, Turkey has not been able to play as much as everyone else. He's had to use a friend's computer, and he's only been playing for 4 to 6 hours on the weekends. I think it's only been 2 or 3 weekends in the run-up to this event. But somehow he has managed to learn to be one of the quickest in our group.
Well, he is through the first level there.
Yep.
Smashed it through. You can see they've got different colors using different controllers today.
Again, I don't think the controllers really make that much of a difference. The only controller we've thought about potentially making a time difference and pushing in 1-1 from 20 seconds to 19 is the fight stick.
You think the controller doesn't make a difference? You try playing this for 3 hours on an Xbox controller and then pick up a PlayStation controller. Those colors confuse the hell out of me.
Well, the colors are going to make a difference, sure. But in terms of overall performance, we think the only one that will make a difference is a fight stick.
And he's through there, the second level already, smashing it out. As we see, our other runner is also on the second level, coming up to the end. He's taking the middle route, looks like, getting through the yellow door.
But Turkey is already off and running on that third level, and he is taking it with some speed.
Is it weird that I think that pink looks really good? It's a nice shade of pink.
That is a nice shade of pink. Personally, I like the green.
Fair enough.
More of a green man.
And he's getting through there almost towards the end now, through the green door. And that is it. He has won the second semi-final. Well done to Turkey, as our other runner is still getting through. He's on his third level, smashing it down. He's taken the same path as Turkey this time, so he'll be coming up to not the same colored door, but it is the same door. Well done to our other runner.
Yeah, well done to both Dan and Turkey. Unfortunately, Dan will now be out of the competition, no longer in the running to win either of our prizes, but he put on a fantastic show against overwhelming odds. Now, before we get into our grand final, I believe you had something else that you wanted to show off.
Yes, so earlier this week, I was actually at Gamescom with the developers of the game, Devs Must Die, and I managed to catch up with them for a little bit and do a bit of an interview. I wanted to share some of that with you guys today. We're going to be putting up an extended version of this interview on our channels next week sometime, so keep an eye out for that. But in the meantime, let's roll the clip.
Hi, my name is Hugo Rosani, and I'm the co-founder of Devs Must Die, and the game designer and programmer of Skybolt Zack.
And my name is Maxime Jean, and I'm the producer of Skybolt Zack and co-founder of Devs Must Die.
Well, obviously Sonic, but the first objective was to create a game inspired from rhythm game. The first objective was to create a rhythm game in which you will attack notes and evade some notes, you know? And with prototyping, we arrived to that Slug,
Mega Man,
Mega Man,
Shoot 'em up.
yeah, all that kind of games you love, you know? Oh, that's easy. It's called Beatmania 2DX.
I like to say pop and music.
Yeah.
We wanted the game to appeal to several kinds of people, but I guess people who grew up with Mega Man, with Sonic, with Mario, you know, they're in their 30s, like us right now. They like platformers and they like action games, but it's also different from all of these games. So I think people who like new experience but want something dynamic and arcade feeling.
Yeah, and obviously the speedrunners.
Yeah, on speedrunners too.
Guys like, you know, Super Meat Boy, Celeste.
Yeah.
You definitely gotta try this out.
Level design is one of them, and how to handle the colors and everything in the graphics, because it has to be very easy to read because the game runs at high speed, and also it has to look, well, to look cool. And with so many colors being important in the gameplay, it was like it was tough for the artist to find the right style to make all the colors go, you know, like not something that would be ugly. And level design is also very hard to do because of the different routes, managing the difficulty. The distance between enemy has to be like very precise, because if they're too far apart, it doesn't work, and if they're too close, you just bump into the enemies.
In this game, there is no such thing as easy, normal, and hard mode. Instead, we have the multiple pass system. The lower pass are made for beginners, and the better you get, the higher you reach. So it was really hard to separate, you know, the players depending on their skills.
Yeah.
That's one of the main issues with the game.
It has to be too hard for a beginner to reach the difficult part, because otherwise they would get stuck in difficult levels that they would unlock by chance. But it has to be not too easy as well. So yeah, managing difficulty is pretty hard. We're still working on that actually. Yeah, that's really tough because it's really very different from any other games we played. So I guess it could be like said, it's a non-rhythmic platformer. No. It's still a music game, but it's not a rhythm game, and it's still a platformer, even though you don't use the jumping and running like you would do in platformers.
Yeah, so that's a platformer in which you don't jump and walk. That's strange, but well, I don't know. Oh, that should be platformer, I guess. I don't know. Figure it out.
As the guys from Devs Must Die. I had a lot of time to hang out with them this week. They really are very passionate about this project. Proper old school arcade gamers, and you can see they've just poured everything into this game.
Did they ever think it would be run this fast?
You know what? I'm going to send them the clips and see what they actually have to say, because I'm not sure.
Well, you know, to get the best clip, you probably have to have the two best people fight an outburst. It's a good thing that we've got the two best right here, Amoeba and Turkey. I take it you guys are both ready?
Oh, they're already on stage. Didn't even have to go find them this time. You guys ready and set up?
All right, well,
good to go?
You're both good to go. 3, 2, 1, go.
And they're off. This is for the final. This is for the prize, guys. Now let's see how they get on. Into stage one, we can see they are, again, using different controls, different color schemes being shown there. And they are smashing through.
Yeah, these two are the fastest in the group that we have been talking about so far. And throughout practice, they have again and again astounded everyone in our Discord group with how quick they go.
Now, they've taken the same route here, and they've all finished at the same time.
Exactly the same time almost.
This is going to be close.
This is going to be an incredibly close game. Now, while they have taken the same route at the beginning, I know for a fact that later on in the game, they take completely different paths. One of those paths is quicker than the other, genuinely, but it's more risky, which means that there's more that can go wrong. The average, well, it's going to be interesting.
That one. Well, they still seem to be taking a similar route at the moment.
Oh, he got caught up on that big guy there when he was trying to jump over it.
Oh, but he's at the door already, with Turkey just behind. Still very close going into the third level. Everything to play for now, guys. And they're off. Turkey just behind, waiting for the screen to load in. Can he catch up?
Yep, he's on his way now.
If he wasn't contemplating the risky route, he will be now. Choosing to take on the big guy there, maybe losing a little bit of time. And again,
depends on the big guy. If there's not something directly after it, it's usually more worth to go for it.
But our other player has taken the risky route, and he's won!
Amoeba is our victor.
All right, as Turkey finishes off there, coming down to the end bit. And he's made it. So well done to Turkey, guys. Give him a round.
Give them both a round of applause. These really are the best Skybolt Zack runners in the world right now. How do you guys feel about your race, your run? Do you have fun?
Yeah, it was real good fun. Big thank you to you guys for having us do this. I'm knackered. I'm so tired. My wrist hurts. I want to go home.
Well, before you go home, please kindly accept these prizes unto you.
So our second place prize, just to remind you, was a £40 Green Man Gaming voucher. There you go. Sorry. And first place, we have a £100 Green Man Gaming voucher, as well as an Intel Core i7 processor. Congratulations.
So yeah, that was the Skybolt Zack Speedrun Showcase, the tournament. I hope that you enjoyed seeing this game run incredibly quickly. Before we go, please tell us, when does the game come out?
All right, guys, obviously that's it from our runners today. The game doesn't have a definitive release date yet. It is coming in October sometime. However, if you want to come up to the stage afterwards, we do have a 15% off voucher for the pre-order of this game, which you can go and get on greenmangaming.com right now.
But yeah, other than that, please come over to the UKSM booth at some point over the weekend. We'll be showcasing speedruns all throughout the weekend, complete games that you would never expect to go as quick as they do. And again, we're trying to raise money for Special Effect. They're a fantastic charity. So yeah, we'll...
That's it from us, guys. One more round of applause for all our runners today. Green Man Gaming and UKSM. Have a great rest of Insomnia.
Well done, guys.
Thank you very much,
really,
chaps. Brilliant stuff. All right, cool.